All right, and we are back, and we are a little bit behind. Today we are continuing the Does It Hold Up series, and I know this should have been uploaded a couple days ago, but we just had the hardest time uploading the latest episode of ReZero. A little bit because YouTube was copywriting it a lot, and it made me cut off like a lot of the good parts, but also I was just kind of just like, am I going too hard on this? Am I just a little bit too much of a little bitch in the outro? But end of the day, the more I slept on it, the more I thought about it, I'm like, nah, I still feel the same. So I just went ahead and uploaded it. But today we are continuing Does It Hold Up? This is going to be, I believe, episode 10. For those who don't know, Does It Hold Up is a series where we revisit the first anime that we ever saw in the order that we saw them. Last week was ReZero. Sword Art Online. And this week, for those who tuned into last week's episode, I referenced a certain mystery anime multiple times in the series. In the first episode of Sword Art Online, where I was just like, this is kind of giving me vibes of what we're gonna watch next week. Like the ending is almost exactly the same. And without further ado, today we are watching Mirai Nikki, aka The Future Diary. This is kind of okay. So this is the anime that I saw after Sword Art Online, and a little bit of story time. After I saw Sword Art, after I saw The World God Only Knows, that's kind of when I was just like, yeah, I'm an anime fan, I'm an anime nerd. I'm a fucking geek, a dweeb, or whatever we're called, Let me try to make some more anime friends, because none of my friends are anime, curious, I guess you could say. And so I decided to join an anime club in the city. And I don't know if this happens every time or at a lot of anime clubs, but we had this I guess they're called presidents, whoever's in charge of the club. I didn't know this at the time, but so like during my first meeting I went there, and then he conducted his opening and all that kind of stuff, and he was like, and I see we have a new member, so I'd like to go ahead and sit down and welcome them by showing them this video. Please, everybody, enjoy. And it was like this AMV. It had Nero Promises. Yeah, Nero Promises, like a remix of it, and then just like a bunch of like animes that I had never seen at that point. I actually don't even remember what was in there. But yeah, like he showed it to us, and then afterwards he showed us this, which was Mirai Nikki. And so that's the anime that I saw after Sword Art Online. What was funny about that though is that every now and then I would like drop in, and every single time that there was a new member, he would show the exact same AMV. And to the point where I was just like, oh, hey, this one again? Because I was like super timid back then. I was like, oh, I think this is the same one you showed last time. I'm a little bit more assertive now, like, but yeah. So I was like, oh, I think this is the same one he showed last time. And then someone told me that, yeah, it's his. It's the only one that he ever made. The president made it. And he shows this all the time whenever someone comes. And I'm just like, bro, what? You're forcing us to watch your music video every single time someone oh, dude. I mean, that was like my full-fledged like first introduction to how cringe anime fans can be. Any fan base really, but like this was my first introduction to like anime cringe, right? Where it's just like, dude, he's forcing us to watch his music videos. Like, what the hell? My first anime convention cringe I don't know. That's a story for another time. But yeah, so Mirai and Nikki, it is a battle royale. My first battle royale that I ever saw. Not just anime series, live action, cartoons, anything like that. It features self flip phones, like flip phones. Yeah. Um, they get clues over the flip phones. There are a certain amount of contestants, and they each have to try to kill the other contestants. The last person, you know, remaining is the winner, and they become the new god of their universe. Pretty interesting concept. I'd never seen something so like high. At this point, I'd never seen something so like high stakes, and I put that in quotes because like this is kind of overused at this point where like, oh, if you don't do this, everything will end. If you don't do this, the world will end. If you don't do that, it's overdone now, but this was my first exposure to those kind of high stakes, right? And so I was just kind of just like, oh, this is so cool. You know, because it was like, as far as I remember, like I've only seen the series like once over, the full series and the manga and all that, and the OVAs and yeah, yada yada, so on and so forth. But I remember the ending to this episode being hype as fuck, and I don't remember anything else that happened here. Like, this was also my first exposure to Yandere, which was honestly my first exposure to character tropes. Because, I mean, there are so many anime character tropes. Yandere, Kudere, Dandere, I think. Something along there's just so much, man. But this was my first exposure to Yandere, and lo and behold, this is like literally the poster child of Yandere. Oh, I forget. Gasai Yuko. I think so. I'm gonna be so freaking embarrassed if that's not actually it. Or Yuko Gasai, one of those. I think we can all agree, as time can go as long as it can, Gasai Yuko will always be the poster child of the Yandere trope. And honestly, I think if not just because, again, I don't remember this series too much. This was like so long ago, and I only saw it one time through. But I remember the emotions it I guess evoked, you know. And I remember she kind of instilled a different layer of imminent danger or like unpredictability than other Yanderes did. And I don't know if it's just like, rose-colored glasses, because this was my first Yandere, and so I kind of like hold it on the pedestal. It's kind of like, not that she was like my first crush, but like, you guys know how when you have a first crush, it's always like all flowers, like all pink, like all that kind of stuff, and then like, all these other girls can have him, but you always look back to that first crush, just like, oh, I wonder what would have happened. I think that's kind of like the first for everything, including this Yandere exposure. So she's always like the prime. She's always like the baseline that I base Yandere's off of. As far as Yuki, yes, I remember Yuki. I remember very much hating Yuki. He was my first exposure to Little Bitch Boy, and I don't know why it's such like a main protagonist thing in anime. It's either like a bland self-insert for the author, or it's a little wimpy bitch boy who gets all the girls. And I guess they can also be like interchangeable, right? Like maybe that little wimpy boy is like the self-insert for the author. I don't know. But yeah, they're tasked with eliminating each other, and the last person standing is alive. I remember, I don't really try to drop like too many spoilers, but I figure like Yuko, if that is her name, is like a popular enough yandere that this series is pretty well known. Albeit probably not highly regarded, but well known just because of her. Yeah, Yuki, like, and Yuko. Dude, I'm gonna be so embarrassed if that's not her name. Yuko is obsessed with Yuki, and she vows to protect him. And she's like super crazy, so sometimes she hurts him. Is like, oh, I love you so much, and that's why I have to kill you. but it's just like that kind of twisted mentality, right? But I'm wondering why I don't remember anything else from this first episode. Just because, like, again, I remember the ending very clearly, but why don't I remember the like anything else? Was it that bad? Was it that good? Was it that I don't know. I'm kind of curious actually how we get to when they're all teleported over there. But without further ado, let us jump into Does It Hold Up episode 10 maybe? Future Diary, Mira Nikki. Let's go. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I do remember that in the manga actually. Okay. I don't really think it explores it too much in the anime. But again, we're just trying to base this off of like the is this still good enough to recommend to first time anime viewers today? So I'm gonna try to keep it like relevant to like now. Yeah, I remember hitting the intro the first time I saw this, and that still holds true. The intro to like at least part one, because I know there's like three intros to this series. The first intro is boring as all hell, which sucks because like the song is like it's a banger for sure, but the animatics are just so boring, dude. It doesn't show us anything, just like random objects. Like, yes, we know what those random objects are later on, but don't you want to like hype up newcomers, like show them what's gonna happen, all that kind of stuff, you know? Like the most hype part of the intro would probably be like Gasai, again, if that is her name, killing herself at the end, you know? That dude is triple layered. He has a t-shirt, he has a sweatshirt, and he has a jacket and a beanie in the hot summer or like the hot weather. I
A moment, please. I am amending a finer point
I would
of
think twice
causality.
before
Since this is my
like
fellow
what
wildlife,
the hell?
rea-
Again, was like the 10th anime series that I saw. That was super cool because I'd never seen like such gore and stuff like that. It's not even that much gore, you know, with whatever I saw after this, but like, oh man, I'm kind of just like, shit, man. Was that really enough to like make me think this was like badass? uh, and is that even a bad thing? Because again, like I'm trying to judge this based on like, is this good to recommend to people coming into the series? So maybe that's not like such a bad thing. Yo, that's her. That's her. That's her. Oh man, I cannot remember her name for the life of me, but she is like the best character in the entire series. I remember that much, and I'm so sad that I don't actually remember her name, but we all know who she is. What number was she? What number was she? Was it 3? I want to say it was 3. I did get her name right. Oh my god, I can't believe. What? My darts? What do you think you can do with those, dude? Those are like the size of a fucking dude, literally. If someone like shoved a dart in my arm, what? Bro, my darts. Oh, dude. What the? Ain't no way, dude. What? Are you kidding me, dude? Oh, okay. So like this bro is like like a NFL level, like a sniper level. What? Okay, yes, I get. He briefly mentioned, oh, he's good at throwing darts. There's a difference between throwing darts. Shit. Hell yeah, dude. He's making him the prize pig. Here we go. This is it.
He who weathers the vicious onslaught shall win a throne incomparable. Indeed, he will succeed me, bearing the mantle of space-time as its reborn god. Look around you. 11
Hell
only
yeah.
remain. Henceforth, consign mercy to the outlines of your warrior's heart and vie for control of the universe.
First things first, you might say.
We'll be watching over you.
You poor little monkey.
Please,
I declare
You
this
poor
meeting
little
adjourned.
monkey. I declare this meeting adjourned. Everyone left off. You're all excused. This
It'll
is
be
the
okay.
scene.
Yuno's here to protect you. I'll do whatever it takes to
Dude.
keep you safe.
That's the frame. That's the shot. That's the money shot right there. All right, and that was episode 10 of Does It Hold Up, featuring Mirai, Nikki, Future Diary, whichever one you guys prefer. All the same. And right off the bat, final verdict. I would say it does not hold up. It's okay. It's confusing. So the entire first half of the episode, I want to say like everything before the final scene was kind of just like it was really boring. Like it was cool for me because I was picking up on stuff that would become like relevant 20 episodes later. Um but again, we're basing this off of like would it be good to recommend to somebody who's just getting into it? And honestly, no. Like they wouldn't pick up on that. All they would see is like a little soy boy just kind of just like why is he dressed like a creep, just what dude, like why is he wearing that many layers in the hot Japan sun? And it's like but like in the end I would say like Yuko, just because like she is the prototypical Yandere, she's kind of like the poster child of the Yandere archetype. Like it's kind of just like yeah, maybe this would be good to recommend just because of and because of that ending. I kind of vaguely remember what happens after this, but I don't know if like what I remember is like good enough for me to readily recommend to people who are just kind of just like starting to get into anime, right? And that's sort of the point of the series. So I'm a little conflicted on what to say. Like, yes, is probably like the basis that they should judge the Yandere archetype. Um, and again, this was my first introduction to battle royales. It might be, a couple of people's first introduction to battle royales, but I don't know. Like even like weighing all the pros and cons, I would definitely say like unfortunately maybe this does not hold up. There's probably better series that do a better job of this. Um and like yeah, it was cool for me again. Once again, it was cool for me because I was again, I saw the entire anime series, I saw the OVAs, I read the mangas, and so I was picking up on stuff that was kind of going on, like it was sort of like clicking something. But for those who don't know, and that's kind of the point of this entire series, I have to say this does not hold up. So sorry. But yeah, a lot of fun memories with the series, especially with the anime club. But yeah, this does not hold up at all. But that will do it for this episode. Please like and subscribe for more reactions. I also react to other anime series, movies, shows that I'm watching. If that's another thing, I stream regularly on Twitch at 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you need some background noise while you do chores, homework, all that kind of stuff, I'm very good at talking to myself. But if this is all you see me, my name's Adam. Thanks for sitting that Jupiter machine. And as always, steal credit cards, hurt your loved ones, plant some flowers. Until next time, everybody. Bye bye. Oh, bye bye. Oh, bye bye.